Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to the final edition of the Stargirl Season 3 review series. And today I am going to be talking about episode 13, the series finale, Frenemies Chapter 13, The Reckoning, which I have just finished watching. And this episode was very enjoyable and very emotional for a lot of reasons, which I'll talk about in a moment. But I felt the way the show ended was very satisfying. Kind of didn't feel like the end, more like a continuation. So it's kind of like it's the end of the show, but the adventure continues. So it's nice to have that kind of ending. So it's not just all doom and gloom. So, oh, this is the end. That's it. But it's nice to know that they prepared an ending and it's wrapped the show up very nicely, I would say. I personally feel that Stargirl shouldn't have ended at 3 seasons. I definitely felt it had a lot more to say. I definitely felt it had a much longer shelf life. I think Stargirl could have ran for maybe 3 more seasons, if I'm honest, because I truly feel, in my honest opinion, that Stargirl is one of the best DC shows in recent years. Not something I ever thought I would say, because when they announced that Stargirl would be getting her own TV series, nothing against the character, but it's not really someone I would have given a TV show. I would have given someone a bit more well known. Maybe someone like The Question could have had his own show, or Hawkman, or Doctor Fate, any of those guys. You know, Stargirl, to me, I always looked at her as the sidekick of, the JSA. I never really put her in that bracket where I could say, yeah, I could see her having her own TV series. But after, I never actually watched season 1 initially. I heard a lot of good things about it. So I decided to buy it on DVD and watched the whole season 1 for the first time. And highly enjoyable. Loved every second of it. Very well written. Very good balance of contrast between dark and light. Very family oriented, but not to the point where it's corny. It's got a good balance. There's something in there for everyone. And it's just a lot of fun. I really felt that Stargirl was a very fun show. Season 2, I would say, is still my favourite season. I absolutely loved season 2 a lot. Season 1 was fantastic, but I think season 2, I think they really hit their peak, in my opinion. Overall, I'd say season 3 was definitely up there. Very enjoyable, highly watchable, but I'm still going out on a limb to say that I still enjoyed season 2 just a little bit more. I am sad, very, very upset, when they announced that season 3 was going to be it. As I said, I definitely felt the show had a lot more to say, but I felt the way, as I said earlier, I felt the way they ended the show was very well done. It didn't feel like the way Legends of Tomorrow ended, where they just left it on a great big massive cliffhanger and gets cancelled. So I think the way they did justice to all of the characters, I think they did a great job. And I'm sad to see it end, but boy, I think they went out on a real high note. I think, they really went out in a blaze of glory. And yeah, absolutely enjoyed season 3 a lot. So I'm going to give a quick recap of what's happened so far, and then we're going to talk about episode 13, which is the series finale. So, as we saw in episode 12, we saw Ultra Humanite take the body of Winters, who is a famous actress, and we were treated to a series of flashbacks about how Ultra Humanite came into the body of this actress, and we saw him working with Dragon King, and we saw him take the mind of an albino gorilla, like the gorilla we saw a few episodes back. And then we were treated to the present where we saw Sylvester was acting very, very strange, promised Artemis that he would kill Jordan McKent for her, to avenge the death of her parents, telling Courtney that she's not worthy of the staff. He was just acting very, very strange. And we saw Jakeem, Mike, and Cindy finally join forces officially. And we finally learned the shocking truth that all this time that Sylvester was actually the Ultra Humanite. And he takes out Pat and buries him alive while we were treated to this long and very epic and well done montage going all the way back to the end of season 1, where we saw him gain the trust of the JSA and was acting like a hero. And it was all part of this evil master plan. And we even learned that it was Ultra Humanite in Sylvester's body that told Rick to use the hourglass limiter, which obviously caused terrible side effects. And as we saw at the end of episode 12, we saw, as I mentioned, Pat get buried alive, and Ultra Humanite in Sylvester's body saying, "Goodbye, Pat." So it was a very scary and chilling way to end episode 12 and set up for the series finale. So we essentially have 3 big villains to deal with. So we have Dr. Icicle, the Dragon King, and Ultra Humanite. What a hell of a battle for the stage to be set for the series finale. So with that all said, let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about episode 13, the series finale, Frenemies Chapter 13, The Reckoning. So we are taken back 9 months in the past, where we see Jordan helps transplant Dragon King's brain into Ultra Humanite's body, saving him from dying of Cindy's wound. And we also see the real Ultra Humanite's brain being transplanted into Sylvester's body, which is part of the master plan to deceive the JSA. And we see in the present, Pat manages to escape his burial entombment and reveals the truth about Sylvester before joining Barbara and Mike and the others and the JSA in fighting Ultra Humanite and the McKents at the junkyard. And we also see Jordan convinces his son Cameron to trick the JSA and lure them into a trap, and he manages to warn them that it was a trap. And we see his grandmother Lily is crushed to death by a falling car. Courtney manages to reclaim the staff. Jakeem has Thunderbolt make a wish and turn the Dragon King into a toy gorilla, which I thought was quite funny. And we see Pat leaves Ultra Humanite severely brain damaged, and we see Cameron shatters Jordan before leaving with his grandfather's Sophis. And I thought this was a very well done scene. Everyone in the JSA got their time to shine. Everyone got a good amount of screen time. Everyone had their moments. Would have liked to have seen the Shade and Alan Scott's daughter get involved in the mix. I think that would have been an epic way to really cap off the series finale, but I still think this was pretty damn good, I think. So after the battle's won, we see Rick apologizes to Beth's family, and Beth lets her parents become her sidekicks, which I thought was a nice touch. Bit corny, but I thought was pretty cool. We see Pat keeps Ultra Humanite on life support. We see Mike meets his mum, officially for the first time. Courtney delivers Sharp's letter to Rebecca, who, as we all know, was the gambler, and she later officially reunites with Cameron. We see Solomon Grundy reawakens, and Yolanda finally tells her mum the truth about what's been really going on. And we also see 3 months later, Jordan has again reformed and fled to Copenhagen, where he's tracked down by an angry and vengeful Artemis who completely burns him and sets him on fire as revenge for what Jordan did to her parents a few episodes back. So, it was kind of nice that all the little story arcs that we had going on was all wrapped up very nicely. Nothing was left undone. And then we were treated to a flash forward of 10 years where it is revealed that the real Sylvester's brain was found and he was revived. We also learned that the JSA rescued the other 7 soldiers of Victory from Nebula Man. Rick and Beth got engaged to be married. We also see that Courtney Whitmore is now Star Woman, which I thought was really cool. So in a way, this is kind of like the show's epilogue, so to speak. We see the Shade is now a museum curator for the JSA Museum, and he's like showing all the young children about the museum and telling them the legendary stories about the JSA's great battles. And we see Shade is interrupted by Jay Garrick, who is played once again superbly as always by the original Flash actor himself, John Wesley Shipp, who tells him that the JSA is needed, and according to Courtney Whitmore, that means him right now. And Shade very sarcastically and wearily asks if their adventures will ever be over, and Jay Garrick says, "Nope, our adventures are never over." And that's how we end the series finale, and we're left with a nice little line at the end that it's never the end. I thought that was a really cool way to end the show, in my opinion, and I thought the way they did it was done with a lot of class, and in a way it kind of leaves it open for a possible return. And that officially wraps up my review of the series finale of Stargirl Season 3. Overall, I would say very well done, very enjoyable episode, very emotional in some parts because that, this is going to be it. I would have liked to have seen this episode maybe be an hour long, maybe like a little movie or something, just so we could have had a bit more time with these guys, but I thought they did a really good job with wrapping up this show, and I am sad to see it end. As I said earlier, I think Stargirl still had a lot more to say. Definitely think it could have ran for maybe 3 more seasons because I truly think this show was absolutely fantastic, and I definitely would have liked to have seen more JSA members join Courtney and the others. I would have liked to have seen Alan Scott make an appearance. I would have liked to have seen maybe Dr. Fate, maybe some of the other characters of the JSA. Just would have liked to see more people, but, what can you do, really? But I think overall, Stargirl for me will go down as one of the best DC shows. Certainly up there with Superman and Lois. I really, really love this show a lot, and it's been one of my all-time favourites. So that's going to be it for me. I am going to wrap this up now. What was your thoughts on the way this episode ended? Do you think they did a great job with the series finale? Do you think they wrapped up everyone's story arcs very well? Do you think the show could have ran for maybe 2 more seasons or 3 more seasons? Is there anything you would have liked to have changed? And what's your thoughts on the ending with the 10-year flash forward as the little epilogue? Do you think that was very well done? And also, do you think maybe we should have seen all of the heroes a bit older? Maybe you could have just seen what they've all been up to rather than just be told? Or do you think you're satisfied with the way everything played out, really? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say a very special thank you to everyone. Hope you've enjoyed listening to me talking about all 13 episodes of Stargirl Season 3. And hell of a way to go out and absolutely love this show. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening. and bye for now.